You became an entrepreneur to make money. And don't forget, you became an entrepreneur to have a life. This is the Savvy Podcast, helping entrepreneurs connect with the vision that's bigger than themselves. Learn how to stop trading in your wife or husband and kids for your success. Get ready to have your beliefs about traditional leadership methods challenged and learn how to enjoy massive productivity gains and in less time than you can believe. This is the Savvy Podcast.
Welcome to the Savvy Podcast. I'm Tim Marshall, and today I have the privilege of hosting Michael Katz for a brief chat. So Michael is an award-winning humorist, a former corporate marketer, Blue Penguin founder, and chief penguin. Michael specializes in helping professional service firms and solos develop effective email newsletters. So since launching Blue Penguin in 2000, Michael has been quoted in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Business Week Online, Bloomberg TV, Forbes.com, Inc.com, pretty much the whole works there, other national and local media. So he's the author of 4 books. He has published more than 500 issues of the Likeable Expert Gazette, a twice-monthly email newsletter, and a podcast with 6,000 passionate subscribers in over 40 countries around the world. So Michael was an MBA at the Boston University, a BA in psychology at McGill University in Montreal, and he joins us now. So welcome, Michael. It's a privilege to have you.
Thanks for having me on, Tim.
No problems. You know the drill, 7 questions, 7 minutes, rapid fire. So should we jump on in?
Let's go.
Rightio, time is on. Let's go. Who's your ideal client?
A professional service provider. So financial planner, consultant, recruiter, coach, somebody who essentially is selling themselves, not somebody who sells things.
Sure.
And somebody who is selling something that from the outside looking in appears to be identical to the competition. So, every financial planner looks the same, every accountant looks the same. Those are my people.
Beautiful, beautiful. And question number 2, what's the problem you solve for that client?
Not looking like all the other people. So the problem your accountant or financial planner has is they're all certified. The people who are worth worried about are good. It's not really a question of competency. The problem is, how do you decide which one of these people you're going to hire? And what I found is something like a newsletter, which is what I specialize in, is a great way to differentiate. And that's their problem. How do I stand out among all the other people who are certified, passed the bar, went to medical school, the whole deal? So it's a person who needs marketing in terms of standing out from the crowd.
Beautiful. So what are the typical symptoms these professional service providers are experiencing trying to stand out?
They're too competency focused.
Sure.
So the tendency is to say, look, that guy's been doing it for 15 years. Well, I've been doing it for 16 years. Or, I'm incrementally better, which even if it's true, and it usually isn't, you as the potential purchaser or hirer of these people, you can't tell the difference. You don't know how medically capable your own doctor is.
No, it's okay.
And frankly, it doesn't matter. Unless you're getting like a heart transplant, they're all good.
Yeah.
So the problem is these people tend to focus on competency, experience. Not that you don't have to be good, but everybody's good. So what I found, oddly enough, is that a personal touch, sharing personal stories, kind of who you are, building trust, that's actually the differentiator. So it's sort of like if you like your accountant, it's not because you know how good she is, you just like her. And I find that likability piece really makes a difference for this particular population.
Yeah, fascinating. So going really well here on time. So it's still 4.5 minutes to go, which is fantastic.
I'll slow down.
No, it's great. So what are the common, and this will take a little bit of time. So what are the common mistakes that people make when trying to go out there and solve that problem of differentiating?
Well, I think there's this concern of excessive professionalism. And so what I mean is, if you and I met together, we had a meeting and we had coffee at a coffee shop.
Yes.
We'd spend the first, 5 minutes talking about, as we did before we got on the air here, hey, yes, where do you live? Do you have kids? How about the weather? It would be rude in that situation for us to just sit down and just start talking.
Yeah, sure.
the interesting thing is when people, and I think these people in general, because these people are not marketing people, they're business people. They're good at accounting or finance or, medical. They don't have marketing classes in medical school. So the assumption is always, I got to get right to business. I have to be, quote, professional, or I won't be taken seriously. To me, you're giving up the advantage you have, which is likability. I should also say, I don't work with anybody or firms that have more than about 20 people.
Okay.
So they're all small, down to individuals. And the advantage people like us have, I work for myself too, is we're not the big company. There is no red tape or bureaucracy. And yet, what these people tend to do out of concern of not being taken seriously is they run past all that stuff and they try and look like the big guys.
Sure.
And there's advantages to being big, but likability, trustworthiness, personal touch is not one of them. So I try and get that back into the marketing of my clients. And again, a newsletter is just very well set up for that kind of thing.
Beautiful. So bringing you back to that emotional connection. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. So what's one valuable free action that the audience could implement that could help them on this path of solving this problem?
Go through all your sort of marketing stuff, things you put out in the world. If you publish a newsletter, if you have a website, read it out loud. If it sounds like you're reading a textbook, not so good.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad news for the world that everything's gotten more casual, that's the expectation. So if you're still talking with jargon and acronyms and all this sort of business speak, you're losing the ability to connect. Just go through your own website. I find reading it out loud is good because if it sounds ridiculous when you read it out loud, you just got to simplify it. Simple words, make a connection. You can do that, kind of over the weekend with all your stuff, whatever it says on LinkedIn. Simplify, friendly, makes a big difference.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's one valuable free resource we could direct the people here today that could learn a little bit more how you help solve that problem?
Well,
where can we see
I hate to say it, but I do, of course, have a newsletter, which is free, which is for this target audience, professionals. And it's about all this kind of stuff. It comes out every 2 weeks. Happy to send it to you. You can just get it at my website at michaelkatz.com. And I'll barrage you for the rest of your life.
Beautiful. That's what I like. So 1 minute to go. And last question. So from all your years of experience, what would be the most valuable free tip you would give the audience in signing off?
Relationship.
Beautiful.
So worry less about capability. You're good enough, and you're not going to be convinced me that you're better than the other guy anyway. See how you can connect better with other people. It's tremendously valuable in a professional service environment, and it is forever overlooked because people think that's not real business. And what I found is, no, that's actually how it really works out here.
Perfect. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for your time. It's been very, very much appreciated. And wherever you're watching or listening to this, there will be a link below which will direct you through to Michael's website. Feel free to jump through there and subscribe to that newsletter. I'm sure there's some fantastic value in there for you. And thanks for your time, Michael. Much appreciated.
Thanks so much for having me, Tim.
It's a pleasure.
You've been listening to the Savvy Podcast, helping entrepreneurs connect with a vision that's bigger than themselves, stopping the trading in their wife and husband and kids for their success. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show, and we hope you had fun along the way. We know we did. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, if you want to know more about the Savvy Method, hit the website at www.thesavvymethod.com. We'll see you again soon.